I have the first guitar I ever built in the shop, and it's like right over there.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I think about it all the time. Like I want to grab that damn thing and tear it down and redo it, and then I'm like, nah, I gotta leave it the way it is, man. I think that tells the story. It's just sitting right there, and it's got a lot of dust on it. I don't pick it up nearly as often as I used to, but mainly because it's as heavy as a boat anchor.
Todd, you jumped straight into scratch build, or did you have any experience with kit guitars or anything like that first?
I did a few kits, but not, I had never carved a neck. I did some refinishing work because I'm an auto paint guy, or I am now. But no, it's mainly just upgrades and repairs. Built a couple of kit guitars. My first actual build was on YouTube. It's for the second Great Guitar Build Off. Was my first scratch build, and I tried to make it as complicated as possible. Yeah. Scratch building just seemed to be the way. I didn't want to do a kit, I wanted to jump in with both feet, and if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. You learn through mistakes, and I've made plenty. So
yeah, I think I've mentioned that I both Scott as well, cigar box guitar stuff to kind of understand the mechanics of how it works. But yeah, when I was sort of thinking about my first scratch build and whether I should do a kit, in my head it was like, well, I'm just going to screw, attach all the screws, maybe put a color on it. What am I actually doing? And I hadn't thought about modifying and carving and making adjustments. So for me, something, and I think the reason why I built my first one, which was the Brian May Red Special inspired one, it was like, well, I actually want to build something that is different than what you can buy as a kit.
And do you remember when you made that first one, how you made any decisions about which wood to buy, what shape to work with?
I bought maple because it was the cheapest wood I could get. Very much regretted that decision after deciding to cut it all with hand saws. I used a telly shape because I have a telly and I wanted to just trace around it. I did a 24.5-inch scale length because I have small hands. I think that was all about I did a 5-in-1 headstock with the tuners because I miscounted and cut it too short. So then had to put one on the other side. That's all about the deliberate design decisions. Most of the rest happened because you make mistakes and you have to work with it.
The first thing I actually built that was electric, I don't consider it a real guitar. It was like a 4-string cigar box style solid body little thing that I think it had like a not particle board, but like some of the cheapest shit you could possibly get, and it was screwed to the top. It was The first YouTube build was like the third or fourth actual guitar I built, and it's still sitting in the shop, and it's, oh my god, it's trash. Baseball neck. I mean, it's so many of the.
I like baseball neck, Scott. I mean, that might be perfect for me.
I don't know. This thing is huge. Yeah. So many of those early builds they're pretty, but they were not sale quality.
It's funny because I've said before that I think people could just use their first build as an experiment and just keep taking it apart and rebuilding and stuff. But the more I hear you two and other people talk about having it as a story, it does seem quite important. I've got a couple that I've had for ages that just keep getting experimented on, new holes drilled in it when I want to try something out or paint.
Story's cool until you got like 6 or 8 of them laying around.
Those are all we call those chapters.
Yeah.